rocking.
We're going to Miami. Welcome everyone to round 4 of the Grand Theft Racing League second season. As you can tell by the screen, we are here for the debut of the Miami International Autodrome, the newest track to hit the calendar. Very controversial in opinions, but regardless, in terms of league racing, at least on this game, from my experience so far, and I have some very recent experience, has to be said, it has turned out to be quite a little fun track to race on. It's hopefully going to produce some fantastic driving all across every division. But of course, we are here to focus on Division 1. I am your host with the most, Lightshot16, joined once again by my co-commentator, which is our good friend Dara. Hello!
Good evening, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. This is, of course, round 4. Quite excited about tonight. New circuit. I'm pretty mixed up grid with some drivers not here. So it's going to be interesting to see who ends up coming out on top.
Yes, absolutely. Let's hope we get a few more drivers because, as Conan Delta said, we seem to be missing a few drivers who should have been here. But let's have a quick look at Miami, which while we're waiting, obviously, first Grand Prix was held here earlier in the season in 2022. If I'm brutally honest, it wasn't one of the finest races. Although from what I've heard, apparently that could be down to the TV direction more than the actual racing itself. But it's 5.4 kilometers in length. Around this 50% race, it'll be roughly a 28 lap race. I hope they got their maths right, because the first time they handed me the one for last week, Bahrain, they missed a lap out. So I hope they haven't missed a lap out here, but I think it is 28 anyway. Yes, we are. This is round 4 of the season. We've had USA in Kota already. We've had Spain with a sprint race, Bahrain, where I made my first appearance. Apologies for being late. And we are here now at Miami. Next week, of course, we return to the sprint format, which is Monza. Then we have Britain, France, Austria, Belgium, Azerbaijan, also in a sprint format, Abu Dhabi, and Brazil at the end of the season. That's how the calendar's looking. Let's see how the standings are looking. Is that updated or not? No, it's not. God damn it. I changed this and it didn't change it. Sorry. Give me a second. Guys, I thought I'd changed this, but it seems to have changed back because it's annoying. So I'm going to actually just... Dara, can you just talk for a minute while I go change those standings again?
Yeah, well, I found the standings if you just read them out, or if you put them on.
No. I've got them saved, and I actually changed them. But I don't know if it's because I closed Steam Labs down. But it seems to have it changed them back to the old standings for some very unknown, peculiar reasons. Right. So it's
Yeah, I don't know what's done that.
Very odd. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, Ginger Ninja's not here, so Atom's got a nice little lead. I think is Fristy here? Yeah, well, he's not in the lobby, but he of course won last time out in Bahrain with a completely dominant victory. Even with those safety cars, you always felt that he was in the driving seat. So we've got, I don't know if he's coming, but Atom's definitely here. So the second in the championship, and I don't know about third in the championship being here. We've got Nathan. We haven't even got Nathan here. It's interesting.
So we've got Alfa Romeo here. I've got the standings ready now. So yeah, but you're absolutely right. Yeah, we seem to be missing a lot of the top dogs, I suppose you could say, of Division 1. But I do now have the standings correctly updated. Sorry about that. So there you can see, I believe this was something that was discussed. I believe after what happened at the final lap of Bahrain last week, where Atom basically, he disconnected, then his AI basically started doing donuts in a very weird display. I believe the decision was made to count the race back one lap, which meant Atom held on to his P4 finish, which does mean he has a slightly extended lead over Ninja now. It's a 9-point gap between the two, and it doesn't look as though Ninja is racing tonight, which is a shame. Behind them, we have the reserve driver Kurt and also NA division driver. Sadly, from what we heard last week, making his last appearance in Division 1 for a while, so let's hope he can have a good race at his technical home race as well. Then we have the two Alfa Romeos of Nathan and Fristy. Fristy, of course, making a massive splash last week, but unfortunately doesn't seem to be here. Let's hope maybe we can get some late comers in qualifying. Then comes CRT Steph on 23 points, also reserved, not here today unfortunately. Then comes Jim LFC, the Haas driver in 7th place. Pyrex Prism in 8th and 15. JW Gibson 9th with 12 points, and Skies Blue rounding out the top 10. That's how the drivers look. On the other side of it, the constructor standings, Alfa Romeo, after Fristy's epic debut last week, now lead the constructors over Mercedes and McLaren. So they now have a 8-point gap over those two teams, who are deadlocked on 61 points each. Then it's quite a bit of a gap back to the Haas team on 21 points, 40 points off the other three teams. Red Bull also on 21 points as well, so they're deadlocked too. Then comes Williams on 12 points, all of which have been scored by JW Gibson. Alpine on 6, Ferrari on 1 point, and Aston and AlphaTauri still yet to score. Wasn't Matty in a AlphaTauri last week? I swear he scored something. Oh no, he crashed, didn't he? Did he crash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I remember he was running well, but I guess he must have crashed out. But yeah, that's unfortunate. So yeah, AlphaTauri, the constructor champions, still yet to get off the mark, and Aston Martin probably should have got off the mark last week. The impressive performance of Radius, and now Radius they've lost him to Ferrari this week. So yeah, that's not gone well for them, has it?
No. I mean, it does look like Alfa Romeo, McLaren, and Mercedes are basically just going to be the three, realistically, aren't they? I mean,
Yeah.
40 points between third and fourth on 21. Like 3 times, really. It's not really particularly promising, is it, for the rest?
No. Well, this is definitely a chance for the Mercedes team this week because they have both their drivers in Kai and Atom here, whereas McLaren only represented by codename Delta and Alfa Romeo not represented at all around Miami, which is a bit disappointing to see. I thought we'd like I said, 14 drivers is not as many as I was hoping we'd see here. Hopefully, like I said, maybe we'll get a few latecomers join during qualifying. But yeah, slightly reduced grid around Miami as we are underway with qualifying. FRA Kai leading the charge out, I believe. Let me just double check the track map. Yes, he is the first driver out there. Although we've got many others following him behind. So, what's your experience with this Miami track, Dara? Like, do you like? I mean, you said you enjoy it and you feel like really quick on it, but what can we expect from the drivers here? Do you think?
I mean, Sector 1 in general is quite I mean, it's difficult to try and put your nose anywhere because the corners are quite long and sweeping and there's, not much of a chance. But, there's in turn 3 as well, and you might see a few spins through there. And then when you get onto that long back straight with a couple of left and right, there's now for Aston Martin going through it now, just next to that big 2. That's quite a tricky place to overtake because it can pinch up if you stick a nose in just as the track's going to the left. And then through where the Aston's going through now, that section of 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, I think even. It's just it's single file. If you try and make there's either going to be a collision or just a massive concertina effect. And of course, back straight, final corner, you might see some moves. And then you're back in the start-finish straight, which is quite short actually for most tracks, this start-finish straight.
Yeah, so I was telling you just before we went live that I have recently commentated on a Miami Grand Prix, which was this past Saturday for the Phoenix Racing Series, a thing I do on Saturdays. And yeah, from what I saw in there, most of the overtakes I recall seeing, they were being done into that final hairpin at the end of Sector 3, just before the start-finish straight. I recall a lot of overtakes going on there. I didn't see... I mean, you did see some side-by-side, at the end of the massive DRS straight in Sector 2, but I don't know. Usually you were able to hold if you were able to hold your line, you'd usually be able to repel them because of the right-hander. Whether you went inside or outside lane, you'd be able to maybe just be able to defend it if you drove well enough. So... yeah, overtaking is going to be an interesting one to see here. I think we'll see it, but we might not see it in places we're necessarily expecting. So,
yeah.
First time's going to come on the board momentarily. Kai has just come round that hairpin I mentioned. The final couple of corners onto the straight. And, wow, okay, well, this is interesting because I think we both agree. We thought we were going to get a 27-1 pole, and Kai has already gone into the 126s, and Radius not far behind him, 27-0. This is unexpected. I didn't expect the lap times to be this quick.
That's more what I was expecting for a banker there from Gibson.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting a 26 for a banker. Goodness me.
That is incredible pace shown straight out of the gate by both Kai and Radius as Michael Dale, reserve driver, in the AlphaTauri, does a 27.8, got a gaming 27.7. He got a podium here in that Saturday league race, by the way. So keep an eye on him. He's one to watch. Oh, we've had a crash though. I think a Red Bull has just gone in the wall, and I think it was Sky is Blue.
10-3.
Yeah, Sky.
10-3 again. I mentioned it, didn't I? I mean, that can be a killer if you get it wrong.
Well, yeah, it's something that I think everyone has come to terms with this racetrack. Traction is not at a premium around here. It's very easy to lose the car, have the rear step out in sector 1. It's very easy to not find the car just not be as stable as you need it to be. And I sense we're going to see a lot of mistakes like that, I feel, as Atom's only got P8 on a 28.2. Championship leader down in, well, he's more than a second off the pole time at the moment.
Kurt looks like he's on a good lap here, 2.3 through the middle sector in this pass.
Well, if we know, if we know anything about Kurt, he's usually going to be up there, especially in quali pace. Bit of a lock up into that hairpin though, but looks though he's okay. Fighting the car a little bit around that corner. He goes third, 27.3. Yet still nowhere near the 2 times of Kai and Radius, who they literally first lap out of the gate, they've just absolutely blitzed it. We still have.
Well, I mean,
oh, that's an Aston Martin's gone wide at the hairpin there. Sorry.
I'm struggling to comprehend how they've managed to set a 26.9. I mean, that is pace for a banker in the 26s. I mean, that's a statement, isn't it? Really, for the rest of the field.
It really is. That's basically them saying, yeah, we're going to be quick here. So if you want to challenge us around Miami, you get to bring your A game. That being said, though, we don't know obviously what they've done with setups. Obviously, it is something that's been pretty much established at this point in the game's life cycle. You can't just take a time trial setup and expect it to work in the race. It might work for qualifying, but you know, obviously you've got to make some compromises for race trim. I'm not saying they haven't done that; they may well have done, but it's just one thing to keep in mind. We'll wait and see what their race pace is like before we make any serious conclusions, I think.
Oh, definitely, exactly. I mean, yeah, I mean, I hope they think their race pace is good. I hope they haven't got a qualifying setup on that car, because that'd be a bit of a shame, because they are looking like they're flying at the moment.
It would be a shame, absolutely, but well, we'll just have to wait and see. As on board with Alan E in the other Ferrari, who sadly wasn't here last week, but he's back this week. He's powering down the back straight now. DRS open on that lovely new rear wing design on the cars this year. And now heavy braking into the hairpin. Oh, he's gone a bit too deep there. He hasn't hit the apex at all, so I sense that he'll know there's more time to be found there if he can get the braking right. But he crosses the line, and it's only a 28.9, so not a particularly quick lap anyway. Next up is Partick. MS Partick and the Williams crosses the line. Only a 28.4 for him, so it seems we've got some drivers who are really, you know, absolutely on the limit, and then you've got some drivers maybe just not able to find the limits of this Miami circuit yet. So, who we got?
I've just had a look.
Go.
Kai and Radius. Oh, his Radius has gone around. Turn 3.
Ooh. Oh dear. That's
on the power there.
Just a little bit too
he
much.
He just started a flyer.
Oh, in the left.
Yeah, but the top 2 at the moment, of course, yet to score in the championship. So,
yes.
Despite Aston being down in P9, he won't be too bothered. Especially as also Kurt. Hang on. So, if Kurt's not going to be here after this race, because he's got conflicting.
Oh!
If you discount Kurt, then Gotta Gaming's the next man with any points for who's going to be here for the remainder of the season, and he's only got 2. TB's not got any. Michael's not got any. Bridal's not got any.
Yeah,
Atom's got 61.
So Atom's, even if Atom isn't necessarily quicker, and trust me, I think his race pace did look stronger than his quali pace did in that race on Saturday. So I wouldn't say he's completely out of it yet anyway. But even if he is struggling, I mean, he's really got away with it kind of scot-free this week, because all of his nearest rivals are not here. As you say, God of Game is the only one really to watch out for. Like, I could see him being up there. He has got some pace around here, but yeah, only on 2 points. God of Game really needs to win if he's going to put himself into this championship contention, really, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, of course, this is quite a compressed season as well.
Yeah, only
I
12.
think we've only got
Ooh,
12
AlphaTauri,
races. Yeah.
literally, I think, basically not wanting to move to get in the way of anyone. Obviously, he doesn't.
Gibson improved by 22 thousandths of a second, but it got him 2 positions.
Damn, that's impressive.
The gaming, he's coming in the final corner. We said he needs a win.
Yeah.
He might need 7 tenths here to find a great time.
They only found
Only a tenth and a half. Yeah.
Remains P5, but doesn't it notch a little closer to top near racer, who's also on a 27.5. Who's on a lap? I think TB is on a improvement in the Alpine, so let's keep an eye on his pace. Currently on a 27.8. I mentioned to TB, a driver I'm familiar with. I've raced against him in a couple other leagues. On his day, very, very strong driver. So we'll see if he can carry some pace into this Miami circuit. Crosses the line now. Good lap. 27.2. Goes ahead of Kurt.
Yeah, it was a good middle sector there. A low 1 minute 2, I think, through that middle sector is what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But I think 1 minute 1 maybe he came for pole at this rate.
Ooh, I think Kurt's going to be one to watch. He has gone 1.5 tenths up in the first sector alone. So if he can carry that into the next 2 parts of the lap, a bit hesitant into that corner, but easing it round here. Let's keep an eye on his sector time. Down to this very tricky hairpin section. It's the one part of the track I can never quite nail. I seem to go around that hairpin a little slower than other people do. The rest of the track I pretty much got down pat. But now he powers down. So I think we missed the sector time, unfortunately. So we'll have to just wait and see what the lap is at the end.
He'd lost a little bit of time in that middle sector. We still owe just about 1.2 tenths up through the middle sector.
Can he claw any time back? That was a pretty nice hairpin by him there. And now crosses the line. Oh, he lost a bit more time though. Stays P4 even though he did improve. So he'll have to dig deep to find a bit more pace if he can. I think that Sky's Blue just crossing the line, but presumably an invalidation, so no improvement. Codename Delta, keep an eye on him. Goes P9, 27.9. I know for a fact he can go a lot faster than that though, because I've seen him do it. So don't know if he's just maybe not gelling with. Oh! I was about to say if he wasn't gelling with McLaren, maybe not. He's just gone into the wall and lost his front wing.
Top Neo races on a flyer here. Oh,
he's just gone 3rd fastest. Nips ahead of his teammate TV. So Alpine looking like a strong force in 3rd and 4th. Then you've got the 2 Hasses though, 5th and 6th as well. They seem to be the 2 strongest teams out there at the moment.
Asim was asked to do a 1 minute 27. He did it so reluctantly there.
27.9. Oh, he's like, okay, I'll do a 27, but literally just. Radius has gone 2 tenths faster in the first sector here. So we want to keep an eye on this Ferrari lap. This could be an absolute belter of a lap here. He's coming through the left-right section. Very nice line. Now the hairpin. Easing it through. Wow, he's nailed that one. Absolutely nailed that hairpin. Let's keep an eye on the sector time up top. 3 tenths up.
God.
This is looking rapid by Radius here. He was running
5.8 is filthy.
Yeah,
through that.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, he was running very strongly in Bahrain until I think it wasn't it under the safety car. I think he just made a mistake and just caught himself out under braking and sadly retired from it. But he's definitely one to watch for the pace. He crossed the line 26.6. That is a gauntlet throw down. Can anyone even think about getting close to that?
Not top near racer. Not this lap anyway. I mean, look at him. I think this is a 5-point turn now. There you go, 5-point turn. That'll do. Yep,
and I presume he'll be diving into the pits. He's got enough time to change tyres and get back out there. Just under 4 minutes to go. Still get to see a lap from Sun Pikachu. It's the only one that hasn't set a lap time. A bit of a
the next man set a lap will be Partick because he hasn't started one yet.
Yeah, well, but Michael Dale
down for quite a long way.
Yeah, so has probably backed out. Bit of a field spread here going on though, because okay, 2.3 seconds between Radius and his teammate. That's quite a gap.
Yeah. Yeah, that is quite a gap.
So,
I mean, that's what nearly three. Well, it's 3/4 of a second per sector.
yeah, that's sizable. Hopefully, Alan E can find a little bit more pace. Maybe we haven't seen the best of him just yet. It's just on board with, well, seeing Partick go through sector 1. 10th up, so needs to really dig deep if he's going to find more pace, because currently with 13th fastest. So let's see if the Hungarian driver can find a little bit more. Heavy on the braking, easing it round. It's looking decent. A bit wide there though. I'm sure that was the ideal line through that. Another hairpin. He's just a little bit hesitant there, whereas Radius was able to just absolutely chuck it in there. He is 3 tenths up though, so he might be able to nip into the 27s at the very least.
Yeah, but it is 1.2 seconds off of Radius's middle sector.
That's insane. That's insanity. Absolutely insanity. As Partick now. He's taking that hairpin very nicely. Used up all the road he can. Across the line now. 28.0 only though. Stays P12. Williams looking to be struggling. Atom has gone a little faster. P9, 27.8. Still 1.2 seconds off pole at the moment though.
He's gone from being 10 thousandths behind P10, 2 bases above, to being, what, like 27 thousandths to 2 bases ahead of him.
Correct.
So he's just not quick enough, is he?
No, he just seems to not have that outright pace, at least in quali trim. Like I said, I do think the race could be a very different story. We'll have to keep an eye on how that goes. But in quali trim, just doesn't seem to have the pace here, does Atom? Who's next?
No, I have to agree. I think it's TB. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Don't listen to me. It's Kurt. No.
Got a gaming.
Got a gaming.
Got a gaming first. Ooh, I think he's just made a big mistake there, though, so I sense he's going to back out. Yes, he has backed out. Problem is, I don't think he's going to be able to recharge his batteries enough for a proper run here, so I fear Colin Gaming may have scuppered his final chance. And Kurt has also aborted his lap too. Just starting to make a few little mistakes here and there. It's costing them badly enough, though, I don't know.
Delta's on a lap here.
Let's keep an eye on Delta. And 4 tenths up. Yeah, he's looking good. Oh, he's got some traffic ahead of him, though. Let's hope they clear before he gets down there. I think they will be gone as Atom retires. I think he's knows he can't go any faster. Here comes the Delta Force himself, codenamed Delta. Crossing the line now. Good improvement. Goes P6 with a 27.4. Excuse me, nips head to game. That's more like what I was expecting from Delta. Checker flags now out, so these will be the last times on the board. TB's next, and it's
TB.
He's gone third, 27.0. Good lap by him. Next up, I think it's Gibson, and Gibson goes P8 with a 27.7. So good improvement by him as well. Kai is improving. He's 2.5 tenths up after the first 2 sectors. He has gone fastest.
Oh.
Now he's taking it by 0.04 of a second. Let's have a look at Radius. Radius has invalidated, so he will not be improving on his lap. So I think Kai may have just sealed it.
I think I'm throwing out there. I think Kai has a more straight line set up here. He was 2 tenths down on Radius through the middle sector, but he's found the time, and it wasn't like Radius had a bad final corner as well.
Oh, and the Alpine battle just concludes in Neo Racer's favour. He just nips back ahead of TB and into the 126s. 3rd and 4th for them then. Alpine looking a very strong force there. What about Kurt? Has he got...
Michael.
No, Kurt's not improving.
Ooh.
Kurt will stay P6. Michael Dale, on debut, reserve driver, goes 5th fastest. Impressive pace shown there by Michael Dale. This is a very strange grid here because we've got a lot of drivers I don't think we expected to be up there. Like, we know Radius is quick from Bahrain, but Kai was only solid at best around Bahrain. I don't think he'll mind me saying it. But here he is, now on pole.
I mean, Kai and Radius have a decent chunk as well to the rest.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he's desperate to actually to contribute to Mercedes' constructors' challenge, and well, he's put himself in a very strong position to do so. I think that is it for the time. So that is your grid. We'll go through it in a bit.
The contrast in US qualifying for Atom, on pole by 0.8 in round 1, and now 1.2 seconds off the fastest lap time, down in P11. I mean,
yeah. What has happened to FG Atom's qualifying pace? Is it? Well, I don't know, honestly. Kai didn't practice for the.
He's washed. He's washed. That's what it is.
Although Atom has, well, I suppose that's one way of looking at it. Atom has said though, apparently Kai did not practice for the past 3 races, but he has practiced for this one, and it's showing.
Right,
that might be showing because he has taken a very impressive pole. Radius, the only one that was really close to challenging him, wasn't able to do so in the end. But then we got the 2 Alpines, 3rd and 4th, looking very solid there. Then Michael Dale in P5 for AlphaTauri. Then comes Kurt P6, Conan Dale P7, got a game in P8, Gibson P9, and Pet Bridle. I don't think we even talked about him at all in that session, but he has gone P10. So
he has.
We'll do a full rundown on the grid in a moment. Delta, you can't say you didn't practice because you've actually done a race round here. I know it was a couple of days ago, but still, you know what to expect from here. So I expect better from you, honestly.
That counts as practice,
exactly.
And it's an unintentional practice.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you haven't sat down and thought I'm going to go practice, but I mean, it's still practice.
Exactly. You have no excuse, my friend.
I've worked out that apart from Atom and Kurt, the next man in the championship here tonight is Gibson on 12 points.
Well, he is,
and that's quite a big gap.
It is quite a big gap, yes. Gibson definitely not one to be underestimated, but I don't see him necessarily challenging at the front. He did, but you never know. You know, things could change. But let's wait and see. I suppose we'll do the full rundown of the grid. A few clouds in the sky. Haven't heard anything about rain in the chat.
No, I read in chat that there was no rain. People were pleased that there wasn't any rain.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think rain here would have pleased anyone.
No.
Regardless, let's do a very quick full rundown of our grid then for this Miami Grand Prix. So, taking pole position, well, his teammate leads the championship. He hasn't scored a point yet. Could this be FRA Kai's day to start turning that around? We'll wait and see. Next up is IXR Raiders in P2. Then comes Top Neo Racer P3. I'm going to have to speed up because someone's readied up. Then comes TB in P4, the 2 Alpines sharing the second row. Then comes Michael Dale P5, Kurt in P6 for Haas. Then comes Conan Dale P7, God of Game P8. Gibson P9, PEP Bridle in P10. Then comes the current championship leader and reigning champion FG at P11. Skies Blue P12, AMS Partic P13, Sun Pikachu P14, and Alan E rounding out this 15-car grid. Apologies for that. I had to speed up a little bit there because someone's readied up a little too soon. And
someone pressed the go button. I think it's a technical term for that.
Yes. Also notice, interestingly, we are using the normal formation lap because from what I've been hearing, that people have been using the broadcast one basically to avoid the host basically getting too good a start. But
we'll find out, won't we?
I guess we will. Yeah. If Atom basically jumps off that line, we know he's basically done that on purpose. In other words, because he felt he had to because he's washed. Is that what we're going to say?
Yeah, completely. I mean, like literally, he jumped in the lake. He's so washed.
Atom basically said in the chat he's messed it up. He should have put it on broadcast. So, it does mean these guys can't warm up their own tyres, which is kind of what we want anyway. But unfortunately, for those that don't know, basically it causes a problem where the host tends to get properly heated up tyres compared to the other drivers on the grid. So, we'll find out momentarily if Atom does do that. Let's have a look at the tyres, though, just very quickly. So, most drivers starting on the hard tyres, there's a couple, though, that have gone mediums. Radius, Kurt, and Codename Delta. They've gone a different way on strategy to everyone else. What do you make of that?
Hards are by far the better strategy. You get the benefit off the line, but you gain probably like 10 seconds after the pit stop.
Yeah.
And that's with the so when the medium pit stop, when the medium runs to stop, you effectively gain 10 seconds if you're still on the hards at that point, if that makes sense. So if you're 5 seconds off the lead and on a hard when the leader comes in on the medium, I'm making this really sound really difficult here, but I would say that hard one would win the race.
Yeah.
So if Radius was winning by 5 seconds ahead of Kai and Radius pit, then I think Kai would win because of the reverse strategy. There we go. I think that makes sense.
And if you think a safety car could scupper the chances for the hard runners, I know for a fact a certain FG Atom did, I think it was 18, 19 laps on the medium tyres around here on Saturday. So it is possible to extend those tyres if you so choose. So yeah, don't think you won't be seeing that basically. Because we could see a few little alternate strategies here and there. I don't suspect we'll see the softs being used unless they need to be.
End of the race, safety car.
Yeah. Anyway, let's turn the music off as we are about to get underway then. So, here we are. We're going to Miami. Let's keep an eye on those lights. There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to Miami. It is lights out. Away we go. And who's got the better start? Definitely not Kai. He's squabbling across the line. Radius roars into the lead. Look at God of Gaming up into P4. Ahead of TB, ahead of Michael Dale, who did not get a good start off the line at all. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. I think that is Bridle who's gone round. Michael Dale is dropping positions very rapidly. He's down to P10 already. I'm not quite sure what happened there. And we've had another spinner. Sky's Blue in the Red Bull has gone as well. But what a start by Radius. He left Kai for dead on the line there. And he now leads on those medium tyres. So now he's got to absolutely romp away here.
In 1.7 seconds already off the line. Even from starting P2, it's ridiculous. There was a glitch in the background. I think he's got a game. He just yeeted down the inside of the corner.
He did. Meanwhile, the other Haas up the inside of TB. Well, outside, now inside line. And he should have it covered. Look at Codename Delta. Oh, that's silly. Oh. Yeah, Delta, that was a silly move, I'm afraid. You really should not have been putting your car on the inside. And that's Kai. It's gone. Kai has spun it. Kai spun it at the hairpin. There's chaos here at the first lap of Miami. A silly move by Codename Delta, followed by a mistake by FRA Kai. And now Radius now has a 3-second lead after not even one lap. And now the Hasses are swarming over Kurt. And God of Gaming, I think he's just let him through. I don't think he thought that at all. Maybe because of the different strategies they're on. Kurt on the mediums, of course, God of Gaming on the hards. So I guess he felt there was no need in holding him up. And look at Kurt, he's all over the back of Top Near Racer. And I don't think those hards have warmed up at all because look at this, Kurt, it's already up to P2. And Top Near Racer now dropped down to P3 and he's got to worry about God of Gaming behind him. There's so much going on here.
Alan E, biggest winner on the opening lap, up 5. Got a Gaming and Kurt both up.
Got another yellow flag.
Who's that? That
is Bridle again. Bridle once again losing it. He doesn't seem to like that turn 3 as Michael Dale has just retaken P8 off of FGE Atom. Very interesting place to do it. He's pulled it off though. Well done to him. He's now in a Mercedes sandwich because of Kai's spin. Kai down in P7 behind Gibson, who's chasing down Delta, who's on the medium tyres. Look at Kai though. He's up the inside, is he? Yes, he is. Much later on the brakes, but too late on the brakes. Way too late on the brakes. And
Atom around the outside. They're going to go side by side through here. The teammates. Oh, Atom backs out ever so slightly.
Oh,
yeah, like he did really. Oh,
and Atom's had a big moment as well, and Alan E's all over the back of him. Well, I did say Mercedes have a good chance here, but if they fight each other like that, no chance they're going to be taking the Constructors' Championship lead here. But now, though, they hold firm. Look at Dale inside of Gibson. I think Gibson will have to give him the room, and Dale, good recovery then. He had a poor start, but he's back up to P6 then. Very good to see.
Kurt fastest lap. He's gapping Top Neo massively, and he is slightly reining in Radius here.
Yeah, Kurt looks to be the man on the move. Those two need to do this, so they need to get away on those medium tyres to make that strategy work. Neo Racer and God of Game will, of course, be going longer. Codename Delta gapping the other hard runners as well, so he's going to be on the back of Neo and God of Gaming in a couple laps, I reckon. But, yeah, mind you, I think Radius maybe just had a bit of a wake-up call there. No, I think Kurt's made a mistake. Kurt has made a mistake somewhere. He's lost time. Because now, look, Top Neo Racer's all over the back of him again.
It was the exit there because Top Neo's not got DRS. He can't be within a second on the exit of turn 8.
Yeah, so must have dropped it.
Must have been...
Maybe on the curb, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, he's got no ERS as well, which isn't going to help him.
No, he's tried to...
I mean, Radius is just laughing to himself.
Yeah, he's literally got the race in the palm of his hands at the moment because his nearest rival has dropped it and now finds himself in the clutches of Top Neo Racer once again. I mean, they're all squabbling from second down to fifth. Codename Delta has entered that fight as well. Codename Top Neo can't really attack Kurt at this moment in time. May not have even been thinking about it on that attempt. He's got to keep his... he's
going for Atom.
Got a gaming.
He's broken late.
So you're looking at that battle. I've just seen Neo Racer have a wobble through the hairpin. Got a gaming trying to take advantage of it. Is he going to go up the inside? No, he's not close enough. So Atom and Alan E having their own fight in P9 and P10. Alan E trying to get round. Can't quite manage it though. Atom does not seem to have the pace here for some reason. He had the pace from what I saw on Saturday, but I don't know if is it just a Mercedes not agree with him, because he was in the Ferrari around there on Saturday. I don't know what's going on with him, but his pace just doesn't seem to be there.
Well, I'm not sure if it's the pace not being there or if the pace of the others is just being exceptional. I mean, Radius, of course. Radius and Kai's lap times qualifying were ridiculously fast.
They were, to be
fair.
So
I don't know if it's maybe just not him being bad, just the others being good.
Got a Gaming has taken P3 off of Top Neo Racer. Easy DRS assisted overtake there for him. Neo Racer trying to stick with him. Kurt has managed to get away again. I don't know if that was a mistake on Neo's part or if Kurt is just getting his pace back up again after his mistake. But he's cleared him. But now I wonder if Top Neo Racer might think about... No, he's not. He's nowhere near close enough to figure a retaliation. Got a Gaming looking good then. And we've had another spin. That sky is blue again. And it's caused a virtual safety car. Interesting. Presumably because of damage. Let's have a look at that Red Bull wing.
Ooh, Kurt pits. That could be smart.
That could be a smart decision. The hards do tend to go quite well here. But obviously, if there is a full safety car after this one, it kind of renders this idea kind of pointless. Unless he felt he had... Let's have a look. Did he have damage? No damage. So this is a strategy call rather than a damage fixer. So he comes out at the back behind Bridle, who we've seen spin a couple of times already. Sky Blue going onto the medium tyres, so probably hoping for another safety car later on. I
think that's a great move by Kurt, personally. Oh, Kai's left. Oh, I'm on it.
Yeah, you on that? Good lad. Yeah, it could be an inspired decision, absolutely. But at the same time, if there is another safety car, it's going to hand the advantage straight back to his other rivals. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. For now, though, Radius, as you said, though, really is laughing at the moment. No threat at all around him. And we are racing once again. And I think God of Gaming has had a decent restart. It's clawed a couple of attempts into Radius's lead. Like I said,
but I mean, look now, we've got two trains here, don't we? We've got God of Gaming down to Kai and then Atom down to TB.
Yeah. All sort of 6 to 5 car trains. And Alan E doesn't want to be part of that anymore. He wants to be the lead car in that train. Atom trying to defend, but Alan E, well, I'll tell you what, he's showing a lot more race pace than he did quali pace, because he is all the way up to P8 from the back of the grid. We've had a yellow flag. Who's that? That's gone. That is Partick. I don't know what's happened, but he's dived straight into the pits.
Oh, Atom's tapped round Alan E.
Oh, no. Ow, Atom. And Kone Delta. Delta's gone as well. See, this is what I mentioned earlier on. These little mistakes because of the lack of traction around here. We're seeing a lot of them out there. A lot of just tiny, small mistakes being made. And unfortunately, they're having maximum impact on a lot of drivers' races here.
I had to check again at the mini-map because I thought God of Gaming was leading, but then I realised there's a red dot a long way up the road.
Yes, very much so. Radius does look very much in control right now. 7.6 seconds the gap. Now, of course, God of Gaming could turn that around later on when, you know, the strategy flips over. the mediums may help him claw that back. But at the moment, Radius is lapping, what, a good half a second, maybe more, faster than him at the moment.
Atom's really struggling here. I mean, he's lost a couple of tenths to the AI of Kai just through the, I call it the car park section. I don't know what you call it, but there's like the little chicane.
Yeah. Oh, here comes Sun Pikachu. What a swing! What? He thought about the outside, then he thought about the inside. He commits to the inside, and fair play, he got it done. It was quite a swing, but he got it done. That's the important thing, I suppose. Keep.
Atom the assassin. Is it going to be 2 in 2 laps and so on, or will he keep it clean? Well, he's going to have the inside line.
Inside line this time.
He's going to.
Sun Pikachu. He gives him room. Oh, bit of a wobble though. They're still side by side. Atom just retakes it. TB lurking in the background as well after his earlier mistake. Running P9, trying to find a way past these two. You get the sense TB's probably faster than these two, but you just can't find a way past them. And then Atom's going to be saved here because he's going to get DRS from his disconnected teammate. I'm pretty sure he's going to get anywhere. Let's keep an eye on that rear wing.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. Seems to be struggling for speed though, because even with both of them having DRS, Pikachu is really gaining on him. Look at TB though, having a look at him as well for P8s as well. Interesting little scrap going on here. Atom, this feels like it may be a damage limitation race for him at this point, because he does not seem to have the pace around this Miami track. He is overtaking his disconnected teammate now, so he's up to P6, but he knows he's got a fire in his hands just to stay in the points by the look of it.
Michael's made a mistake somewhere. He's dropped a 2 to... Oh, Neo's going for the inside.
Yeah, yes he is. Oh, and he... a gaming tags him though. And unfortunately...
Trying to find reverse, there he is.
Oh, that is so unlucky. I don't think that was deliberate by any means necessary, but it doesn't change the fact. Got a gaming, I think, got on the throttle a bit too eagerly, and he's basically spun Neo around. I don't think the Alpine will be very happy about that at all. He's now dropped a P11 behind his teammate who's just got ahead of Kai's Ghost. So now Atom finds himself P5 somehow. Don't ask me how.
I mean, yeah, despite us saying that he didn't have pace, he's in P5.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy.
So, look at that gap now after that incident between God of Gaming and Top Near Racer. The gap is now 11 seconds between Radius and God of Gaming. Then comes Michael Dale, who at the moment has been the surprise of the session, of this race so far. Does have a 3-second time penalty, which could hurt him later on. And then behind him, well, we mentioned him, you know, being Atom's nearest rival who's here. Well, Gibson is looking at least consistent. And at the moment, consistency is probably what you need around this track from what we're seeing.
Definitely. But then what's happened to Kai? I think he's just been overtaken by the train.
He hasn't rejoined, has he?
No.
I don't think he rejoined. I don't know if he just got... I don't know if he's frustrated at how the race has panned out. I do hope he comes back, but we can't make him, obviously.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Kai's Ghost is basically being dropped as Neo Racer back ahead of Ali. Oh,
no.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Some Pikachu made contact with Atom.
Yeah.
And now they're all
bunched
up. I mean,
up.
look at the gap between them here.
Some Pikachu, yeah, and Gibson, the gap is just widening. Look at Codename Delta. He's having a look around the outside of TB. He braked late. What a move! He's pulled it off. Fair play.
A great move.
That was a fantastic move. I was worried he was going to go into the back of Atom, but he just got it stopped. That's probably the move of the race so far by Delta. That was a really good overtake.
That we've seen, of course.
That we've seen. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, move of the race so far. Yeah, absolutely. He is on the medium tyre, so he does need to be making these moves stick. But nevertheless, good move by him. His next target is Atom ahead of him. He's been in pretty much... It's been I don't think a war is the right word to use for what Atom's been in here. I don't know if what you can go above that, though. Because he's been in an absolute titanic clash with pretty much everyone on this track, from what I've been seeing.
Conglomeration of incidents.
Yes, I love that. I love that word, yes. Meanwhile...
Conglomerate, it's so... Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, Alan E's gone. That's at the hairpin. But while that's going on, the second, third and fourth battle has closed up. Michael Dale, Gibson and God of Gaming all within a second of each other. So this is the battle for second place because, yeah, if you haven't noticed, our leader is a little bit detached from everyone else.
TB dives to the inside of Delta, and they're still going something. Oh, a massive snapper from TB out of turn 18.
And he holds it.
He's going to have to slot him behind, yeah.
Yes, he is. I've still got the VSC thing up. I should turn that off. I apologies. I completely forgot about that. It doesn't flash though, so it's not quite as annoying as when I leave the safety car on. So, lap 10, 12.3 seconds the gap between Radius and God of Gaming, which is starting to look more and more insurmountable. We have had a spin. That is Sky's Blue. Now, we do have to remember, of course, Kurt did pit under that virtual safety car. So, we don't know where he's going to be once everyone else pits. Sky's Blue retires in the pits, though. So, he's had enough of that race. So, can't blame him, to be honest. He's basically been spinning all over the place, hasn't he? Doesn't seem to be having a good time at all.
Yeah, he has.
So, we don't know where Kurt's going to be once everyone else make their pit stop. I suspect Radius may still hold the lead, though, because honestly, his pace up front has just been eye-catchingly staggering.
Mighty. Yeah.
Let's go back on board with the battle for second. Third, though, is Michael Dale going to be close enough to think about an attack? He's gaining on God of Gaming. Is he going to go for a move? No, he's not quite close enough, but he has tagged him.
No.
He's tagged the back. Will Gibson maybe try and take advantage? They're still side by side. Because of that, God of Gaming, I think Michael Dale, yeah, I think he realised he probably shouldn't have taken that position anyway. So God of Gaming holds on to second. Gibson basically, I think he's getting the popcorn out, basically. He's just like, yeah, you two carry on. I'm just going to wait here and see what happens. Fair play to him at the moment.
It's not a bad strategy.
No, not really. He's made the most positions in the race by quite a bit. Oh, no, that's
TB.
That's a lie. Some Pikachu is.
Oh, TB tried an up and under on Kona Delta in turn 3.
Oh, and he's thinking about it again.
I think those movements are starting to go off because he's not quite got the grip that he had before, Delta.
Yeah. Now, don't forget, there might be some bad blood between TB and Delta, because I think, wasn't it Delta that kind of wiped TB out with that silly overtake attempt, as Michael Dale has got past God of Gaming for P2, just down that DRS straight. But wasn't it them that came together in the... I'm sure it was. And now TB takes...
I can't remember particularly.
It was here. Do you remember? Conan Dale made a silly move trying to go out the inside. I think it may have been...
yeah.
I think it was TB. So there may have been some...
Or was it... Yeah, it was an LP. It was either TB or Neo.
I don't think it was Neo, because I think Neo was ahead. But yeah, I think...
Yeah,
I think there might be a bit of bad blood between them at the moment. Now Conan Dale finds himself very much in an Alpine sandwich as top tier racer. Might just think about an overtake here. He's deploying. Problem is, Delta's getting DRS, so he's just not quite. Mind you, Delta's gone deep into that hairpin. Is he going to try up the inside? Yes, he is. They're side by side. Look at the speed of that Alpine. Got so much straight line speed. Delta does have the inside line here, though. Bit of contact made. Nothing malicious, though. Nor there.
Oh.
It's just forced Delta off track, but I think he'll get away with that, because it was a bit of an awkward side by side there. He just gets the move done. And up to P8.
I think I'm right in saying they've now both overtaken each other on the outside of turn 1.
Correct. Yes, Delta did it too. I think yes, you're absolutely right. But I just wonder, is that maybe a sign that codename Delta's mediums are starting to fade? Because it did look as though he was struggling for traction out of that hairpin.
Pikachu and Atom are a little bit away from TB now.
Yeah, I think that...
And then TB's now got to train down to Kurt as well.
Yeah, I think that fighting with Delta between him and the Alpines, I think allowed Atom and some Pikachu to just eke away from them a little bit. Some Pikachu running very strongly, though. Started 14th, now running P5 as Radius is in. Race leader is pitting, and honestly, I could see him coming out P4 here. He's got that much of an advantage.
Yeah, he's come out P4. It's about a 18 second pit loss time.
Something like
so yeah, he's easily got that time.
Because here some Pikachu's just coming through the final couple of corners as Radius comes out of the pits. Now he might be on cold tyres though, So let's keep an eye and see if some Pikachu reels him in. 2.6 seconds gap, 3.4 now. So we'll...
normally uses about 2 seconds, so I'm not sure he's going to be able to get close enough.
I think it'll just be fine. Delta's also pit. That shows you the advantage that Radius has. He's only lost position to the 3 drivers who are fighting for the podium spots. He's still P4 even after making his pit stop. Now, how long do you think the top 3 guys will go, do you reckon?
Lap 16, I'd say. Or lap 17.
It's Gibson. Gibson and Goddard Gaming side by side. And I think Goddard Gaming, yeah, Gibson yields that. Fair play. Good driving by both of them there. Went for the move. Couldn't quite make it stick, though.
Now, this will be the first time that someone apart from Radius leads a lap in this race.
And that on,
because Radius has led from start so far.
And that honour goes to Michael Dale, the reserve driver. So fair play to good old Dale. He's
well, unless he spins out at the final corner.
I would never put it past it, but hopefully that doesn't happen. No, looks okay.
He's nice and safe.
Yeah, he's doing okay. As the 2 Alpines now fighting each other, Neo Racer and TB. So no team orders there by the look of it. Neo Racer gets ahead of TB. TB think about a counter attack. No, he's not close enough. So 2 Alpines run in line astern then. As Partic has just made a move on Alan A's Ghosts, I should say. Because I believe he has disconnected and not come back. So, lap 14 then. Your race leader is Michael Dale, but he is yet to stop, as has God of Gaming and Gibson. Only a few drivers have made pit stops. Radius is the net race leader once everyone makes their pit stops. He's basically run a very lonely race, but a very commanding race at the same time. He's basically been in control from lap 1 after taking the lead from Kai.
7.3 seconds ahead of Kurt is Radius at the moment.
Yeah, so Kurt, I don't think Kurt's... You can see why he went for it, but I don't think Kurt's VSC gamble has particularly paid off for him here.
No, I think being stuck in traffic is not helping the cause.
That being said, once everyone else makes their pit stops, he should... He should still be second, shouldn't he?
He could pick off one here, actually. As Atom might pick off one as well.
Atom tried.
To the inside of Pikachu.
Yeah. Both Astons are coming under pressure. Atom, has he got ahead of Pikachu? Yes, he has. I don't think Kurt has got the move done on Bridle, though. So he remains in P10 for a moment. Good move by Atom there, though.
Well, we'd have another chance down his turn 1 Kurt, but he just lost a bit of time on the exit.
Meanwhile, 2 Alpines are, now that Neo Racer and TB have settled their own dispute, they're starting to just reel in Atom and Pikachu again. Neo Racer really does look like he's on the pace. He just has not had a lot of fortune in this race, that's to be said. To be taken out by God of Gaming unintentionally, but still no getting around what happened. Now running P7, but he's really closed the gap on some Pikachu all of a sudden. Just look at the speed of that Alpine. He might think about a move here, even without using any ERS here. Up the inside. Yes, he is. He is thinking about a move. Oh, I thought he was going in the back of Atom there. But no, he's just got it stopped in time. Some Pikachu's trying to hang it around, but he has to yield that one. Otherwise, that could have ended in disaster. That was
a great move there from Neo.
Yeah, that was a brave racing. It could have ended in tears, but it didn't. That's the important thing. And now he finds himself back into P6. He's not close enough to go for a move here. What about Kurt, though, on Bridle? Yes, he is. This time he gets it done. So Kurt moves up to P9. As into the pits comes Michael Dale. And he's got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Meanwhile, Radius, haven't talked about him much. He's just set the fastest lap of the race, 30.3.
Let's see if that can even be beaten by the medium runners. And I wouldn't be too surprised if it isn't beaten by the medium runners, if I'm totally honest.
No, Radius has really looked in the class of his own so far in this race. He still has 2 drivers ahead of him, Gibson and God of Gaming, but they're still yet to stop. I do wonder if one of them might consider extending and maybe going on to the softs. It's not completely unheard of. At the moment, though, Gibson, is he going to go for a move? No, he thinks better of it. And we've had a spin. That is Partick in the other Williams. Has lost it at turn 3. Doesn't seem to be able to... I don't know if he's just not on the wheel. Oh, no, there you go. He's moving now. But
this is an almighty train, isn't it? From Atom down to Brighton.
yeah, all aboard the Atom train is definitely the term I would use there. Look at the cars and look at Neo Racer under pressure from Sun Pikachu. He wants that P5 back as Gibson, meanwhile, roars into the lead of the Grand Prix ahead of God the Gaming. So, well, one Williams has had a disaster, the other's gone round, and Sun Pikachu. Oh, and is that Atom has just disconnected? Yes, it is Atom that has just disconnected. So let's.
Thankfully, he's not spinning, but he is pitting. They are pitting him.
As is Neo Racer, though. So Neo Racer is pitting as well. So it may be an intended strategy. It might not be the worst thing to have happened to him. It gives him time to get back in, at the very least. Bridle's in the pits as well.
Gibson got a gaming. Gibson got back. Got a gaming. Got back past Gibson there.
That must turn 1, I assume.
Very close between them two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Radius basically, he could just sit behind and. I mentioned Gibson having the popcorn. I think he's passed the popcorn bucket over to Radius now because he's like, yeah, you lads do what you want. I'm just chilling here, you know. I've already made my pit stop and all that. We got a yellow flag again, though. That is Partick again. He's in danger of being lapped here because the top 3 are coming. Got a Gaming still leading the charge. Gibson just a little bit behind. And yeah.
Ooh. I think Atom's back in his car. He is indeed.
Yeah, he's...
TB is right on the back of Sun Pikachu here.
TB on Sun Pikachu then. Yeah, that's the battle for P4. Obviously still yet to see pit stops from them. I do suspect we might see 1 or 2 coming. But I think TB will want to get this move done beforehand. We got a yellow flag. Sector 3, who is that?
Partick.
That's Partick maybe staying out of the way there, maybe then, yeah. Both got a Gaming and Gibson both pit. So they're both pitting at the exact same time. So it's down to the pit crews. As TB is in as well. Some Pikachu stays out. Kurt, as we know, has already pitted. So they come out on the mediums now. Michael Dale has made a pretty mighty undercut on them, though. Look at that.
Yeah, 2 laps.
That's quite the undercut. I guess the mediums did not have the same heat up issues that the hards did for Radius. And Michael Dale, wow, that is a great undercut. We've got a yellow flag. Oh, it's codenamed Delta and spun it. Now, is this going to be a safety car? Because it was right in the middle of the track. I'm just having a look. I don't think it is going to be a safety car. Looks like we're getting away with it. But oh my god, yeah, that's a huge. It's right in the pit lane. I'm surprised.
That's impressive.
That is very impressive. I'm very surprised it's not a safety car, I have to say. It's unfortunate for Delta, but no, yellow flag goes away. So racing conditions again. So the only driver that has not made any form of pit stop in this race is Sun Pikachu, who's currently running P2. Under pressure from Kurt, who's on slightly fresher hards. You get the sense Kurt's going to be under threat from the 3 drivers behind him soon, I would say. Apparently Delta in the chat saying someone on cold tyres barged his way past him. That's what caused him to crash.
So what was that? I missed that, sorry.
Apparently Delta said someone on cold tyres barged past him and it caused him to crash. He didn't say who, but yeah. Meanwhile, Sun Pikachu still staying out there on those hard tyres. He's happy to keep going. As Neo Racer now sets fast. Well, there you go. Someone did beat Radius's fastest lap on the medium. So there you go. And to be fair, as I said, Neo Racer's pace has been good. He just has not had much in the way of luck in this race. And at the moment, he's got a bit of a mountain to climb if he wants to get into the top 5. Obviously, Sun Pikachu still has to make his pit stop, but I don't think anyone else ahead of him does, technically. He's He's got Atom behind him, although it looks as though he's got that Mercedes covered. Yeah, it doesn't seem as though there's any threat there from Atom. I think he's just using DRS to close in a little bit. Then comes PEP Bridle and P9. TB has lost a lot of time for P10. Not quite sure what happened there. I wonder if he was the one that made contact with Delta, I wonder.
Possibly.
Because I remember they were running closer, like, before the pit stops happened. Not sure. Meanwhile, Kurt eases past some Pikachu. Is he going to think about pit stop? No, he's still staying out. He must be fishing for a safety car here, surely. That's the only reason he wouldn't pit by now, I'm sure of it. As MS Parting 10-second time penalty. What on earth has he just done? It's now God of Gaming sets the fastest lap of the race. Currently running P5. It's a shame about Michael Dale's penalties because he's running a great race, but he's got a 3-second time penalty for corner kind and a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. So at the moment, unfortunately, he's going to drop at least to God of Gaming and Gibson.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. Because of course because he had that penalty, the track limit, the track limits penalty, and then the speeding in the pit lane, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was
compounded.
He was the first one to get a 3-second time penalty. The only other one that's done it in this race is Bridle, and then the 5-second pit lane speeding penalty. I think it's unfortunately condemned him to not being on the podium here. At the moment, it's looking like a double Haas podium, which would be a boon for them in their constructors bid, especially with how poorly McLaren, Mercedes are doing, and also Alfa Romeo not scoring. This could be Haas's ticket to get back into that constructors fight. Of course, God of Gaming does still have Gibson to worry about. Gibson on 12 points at the moment, would dearly love to try and close in on Atom. And I tell you what, he's pulled it off. What has happened to God of Gaming there? Has he made a mistake at that chicane? Because I don't know what happened, but Gibson is suddenly ahead of him.
He must have made a mistake there. Can't think of why else he would be ahead like that.
That's very strange. Regardless, Gibson now in P5 then. 4-second gap to Michael Dale, who of course has the penalty. So at the moment, we know some Pikachu has to stop at some point in this race, even if he is. I tell you what, he's doing a good job of holding on to Kurt. So clearly he's content to just stay out there and maybe hope for a safety car, but the field is quite spread out at the moment. I don't see a safety car happening now, unfortunately. But he might be on for fastest lap at least. Because he surely will go to softs, I would say, from this stage.
Atom really hasn't progressed in this race, has he?
Not really, no. If anything, I mean, I would say the ones that have progressed. Now, admittedly, like I said, some Pikachu still has to pit, but I would say Gibson, I think, has probably been the most impressive driver. Like, not including Radius, of course, but that's not really a fair comparison, is it? But Gibson started, if we look at his starting position, started in P8 and is now challenging for the podium, basically. No, start P9, in fact. I apologize. Yeah, I think Gibson, honestly, is a contender for driver of the day here because he's really driven well. As some Pikachu finally comes in the pits. Last driver to do so. Presumably going to go on the soft tyres. Interested to see where he comes out. I think he's going to come out in P10. But he will have a nice, fresh set of softs to play with now. And I know for fact they will get to the end quite comfortably. In fact, it might be P9, because TB's a little bit further back. Yes, it is. Indeed, it is P9. So Pikachu can now go chase after his teammate. I suppose there's some crumb of comfort, though. Aston Martin yet to score, as nor have AlphaTauri. It looks as though both of them are finally going to get off the market, as long as nothing dramatic happens.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there.
Yeah, Dale running P3, likely to drop to P5. I don't think Neo Racer is close enough to take P5 off him, though. So I think he will still score P5. And then TB and some Pikachu. I think Pikachu's struggling to get temperature into those tyres. And TB has taken P9 off of him. See if some Pikachu can respond later on in the lap. So they're in their own battle for the back end of the points. We know Kai and Alan E are both disconnected at this point. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 3. That is Kurt. What has happened to Kurt? I'm not quite sure. He's lost it at some point, and Michael Dale now takes P2 of the race, at least on track. What has happened to Kurt there?
Bizarre one there, isn't it?
I just saw it out of the corner of my eye, the yellow flag, and I saw a hat going very slowly on a hairpin. It must maybe a half spin at a hairpin, maybe. I'm not sure.
Son Pikachu right on the back of TB. He's going to go around the outside of turn 1.
I mean, just
he should have this better grip.
Yeah, look at the difference in grip, and yeah, those softs. They won't last long, but for while they do last, he's going to be an absolute bullet right now. And like I said, he could be a threat for the fastest lap point, which is currently held by...
exactly.
I think let's have a look. The fastest lap currently held by God of Gaming, which is a 29A. I suspect some Pikachu could threaten that on these tyres.
Oh, no, is that TB? It's TB spinning around.
Yes, it is. TB spins. Get back going, though. You're still on for a point no matter what, because Kai and Alan E will not be classified in this race because they haven't done enough of it. So, well, no matter what, just carry on. You're on for a point at least, so do not give up. Something I always try and advocate. So,
where's Michael dropping to now, as it stands? It's got to be. I mean, look at the leader. He'd be dropping to P6 at the moment. Atom's just outside of the window.
Yeah, has to be said. Neo Racer is showing some brilliant pace to get himself into that equation. I don't think he'll be doing enough to get on the podium. I think Gibson and God of Game are just a little bit too far ahead. Meanwhile, we barely talked about this man. Did you forget he was in the race? I think a lot of people might have done. IXR Radius. It has been a very quiet one for him. But only lost the lead of the Grand Prix when he pitted and others hadn't ahead of him. Gap is now 15 seconds. There's no other word for it. This is out and out domination by Radius. It's just a shame he didn't get the pole position because it could have been a Grand Slam. Mind you, he hasn't got the fastest lap. Yeah, that's true.
And there were 4 laps where he wasn't leading as well.
That's very true, yeah.
It feels like it should be a Grand Slam,
you feel like it,
none of the parts that make it up.
But regardless, I don't think he'll care. It still would have been utter domination on his part. It's more a question of who's going to be on the podium with him. Because I don't think Kurt's P3 is very safe at the moment. I just want...
No, especially with Gibson and God of Gaming closing in here.
And
Neo is closing in a bit on God of Gaming and Gibson as well. So there's a bit of a Constantina effect towards the front now for P3.
Yeah.
Or P2 even.
Yeah, Neo really has left Atom for dead. Atom's very lucky that none of his major rivals are racing in this race. Because he is going to take 6 points away, but it's not been a particularly strong drive by Atom, and I think he would be the first to admit it.
If we discount Kurt from the standings again, because he says this is his last race in Division 1, Atom will, well, as it stands, leads with 67. Then, of course, Ginger Ninja will be on the 52 he was on from last week.
Yeah.
And then it's down to Nathan again on 28.
Well, that being said, if Gibson could somehow... If he can get past Kurt, he'll get 18 points, so he might get up to 30. So Gibson might...
Yeah, that's true, actually.
So Gibson is in...
Gibson could be a P4 contender.
Absolutely. I mean, he's... As it stands, with Michael Dale's penalties, he's on the podium no matter what. But if he can get past Kurt here, it could be a P2 finish. And, yeah, he's really running well here. And Kurt's going to have...
Really reeled in Kurt here.
Kurt's going to have to get his defensive shoes on here.
Defensive shoes?
Defensive shoes, yes. I don't know why I say that. It's just a saying I've used.
Yeah.
But hey, it works. And for now...
Yeah, of course.
For now, it looks like he has the legs on Gibson.
Aye.
Shoes, legs. What is it? What is with me and my fascination of the lower extremities of the body? I don't know. I do not know. Now, defensive line from Kurt. You can make one.
Sorry, Kurt.
So I was just watching. Kurt makes a swerve, then swerves back on the racing line, and then is drifted back. Was that 2 moves by Kurt defensively?
It seems okay to me. It wasn't dangerous. It wasn't too late. Didn't stop.
No,
Gibson.
You're probably right. Just obviously he's got to be careful not to do it too aggressively. Look at Goddard Gaming. Oh, thought about it. I think Gibson saw it coming, though, and blocked off the inside line. Good driving by Gibson there. He saw the threat behind. Gibson's in a really precarious position. He's in a Haas sandwich here. We got a yellow flag. That is Atom.
No,
that's Atom. Atom's lost him. Now, as long as he gets going again, he should be okay, because Bridle has a penalty. If he can keep within 3 seconds.
6-second penalty as well.
Yeah, so if he can, as long as he gets going again. But some Pikachu could be a threat for him later on. Because, yeah, he's very much closing. Yeah. But mind you...
Here comes Gibson, though.
Gibson on Kurt. But look at the speed Kurt has in a straight line. Gibson wasn't able to really make any impression there. I don't think any of them have any ERS really to speak of. Kurt has a little bit more than the other two, but... it's basically coming down to pure engine grunt, basically, at the moment. And, of course, DRS assistance. And look who's just sneaking up on them all. Neo Racers just slowly entering this fight as Kurt, once again, strong defensive move there. But look at the speed difference of that Haas. He's so quick in a straight line.
Neo Racers has just took... I think he's taken a second in that sector out of the 3 in front of him. That's how fast he's getting up to the back of them here.
Yeah, Neo Racer is inserting himself into this fight. We've got 3 laps to go. Radius, of course, very comfortably in the lead. Pretty much just cruising at this point. Gibson! Very nearly loses it at turn 1, but holds it. But that'll give Kurt a bit of a reprieve. Got a Gaming just watching and waiting at this stage for any sign of a mistake. As Neo Racer continues to claw into their advantage. Michael Dale is stretching his advantage, but I don't think he's going to be doing enough to limit the damage, unfortunately. I think he's still going to drop to P6 as it stands. Nevertheless, it's a shame, like I said, shame about the penalties. Michael has run a very strong race here.
He picks up 2 points at this rate with his fastest lap as well.
Yeah. So he decided he wasn't going to be able to charge some Pikachu, so he decided to go for the fastest lap point. Which I assume, because we haven't done broadcast mode, we can give that point out. Yes. I assume. So now Gibson is a lot closer to Kurt, but again Kurt with that defensive line, and he just leaves that Williams for dead on the straights. He's so fast in the straight line.
Gonna have to send him at some point.
Yeah, Gibson's going to have to be creative here. He's only got 2 laps to go. He's going to have to think of something different if he wants this P2.
This might be it, actually.
It could be.
This could be it.
That's a very good run.
Oh, no.
But again, just look at the speed. And Gibson just can't live with it. He just cannot live with the speed of that Haas. Kurt is basically annoying. I don't think he's just annoying Gibson. I think God of Game is probably getting frustrated. But look at this, though. Gibson, well, he's having to be creative here. He's forcing Kurt to maybe go deep there. Maybe gonna try.
Ooh, yeah, switch back here.
Switch back. What a move! Has he pulled it off? Yes, he has. Kurt will, but now can he defend it though? Because we know what Kurt's speed is like, but God of Gaming wants that P3 off of him. We know this is a P3 because Michael Dale is gonna drop back. But look at the speed of Kurt! He's coming straight back, is he? Yes, he is. What?
Here comes God of Gaming as well. Oh, not quite.
But Kurt's gone deep. Kurt has gone deep. The hard tyres are dying for him. I think the hards are going off for him. He went too deep and Gibson retakes P3. Incredible driving by all of them.
They have to be careful. If they fight too much, they'll be outside of the window of Michael Dale.
Yeah,
it's 3 seconds.
It's up to 5 seconds.
But even still.
Insane stuff. Yeah, just look at Kurt. You can see he has the straight line speed, but he just doesn't have any tyre grip at the moment. But look at him closing. Gibson's going to have to go defensive here, and he sees it. Later on the brakes, Kurt's trying to defend. That Haas is a fucking cruise missile. I apologise for my language. Oh, he's spun into his teammate there. The Haas cruise missile. It just hasn't got any traction anymore. God of Gaming having a look. Final lap of the race.
Neo.
Oh, Neo.
Sorry, he nearly hit the back of Kurt.
Very nearly did.
Was
that was very close indeed. And I think Gibson might have just done enough here now, because unless God of Gaming gets a massive run on him here, we'll have to wait and see. But I think the Kurt cruise missile, I don't think is going to have any legs on this straight.
Oh, Neo.
He's trying to do the same thing that Gibson did, and he succeeded. But will he be able to hold him off now? Because we know what...
He's got a bit of ERS on him. Not much. Oh, he's got a bit, though. Well, it should be enough. Here
comes the Kurt cruise missile. Oh, the contact made. I think Kurt tapped the eraser, got him in a spin. He's finally got a game. I don't think it's going to affect their positions. But what it does do, it might just give Michael Dale... It's going to be close now. He might get on the podium here. This is going to be close. Oh, my God. Well, let's go on board with the race winner. He's just crossed the line now. Radius gets the win here. He's basically stayed out of trouble. Now, is Michael Dale... It's going to be so close with God of Gaming.
Oh, it's so close.
It's so close now after that contact. Michael Dale crosses the line now. His penalties apply. We know Gibson has done enough. He's going to take P2. Great drive by Gibson.
It's going to be thousands.
It's literally 3/400ths of a second. Michael Dale has held onto the podium because of the Hassett and Alpine implosion. Michael Dale gets a podium for AlphaTauri. That's insane. That is the most insane final lap I think I've seen in a long while. Absolutely insanity. Atom finishes P7 in the end. Pikachu P8. Bridal P9. And I think TB will take P10.
I can't quite believe the assassination attempt I've just witnessed from Top Neo Racer there.
Absolute insanity by those four. Three, to be honest. Gibson had kind of got clear by that point. But
I'll invite those three to the party.
yes, driver of the day, Michael Dale. It's between him and Gibson, honestly. I think they both ran brilliant races. Obviously, the penalties may be handed in the second place to Gibson. I'm going to say they both... I know it's a bit of a cop-out, but I think they both deserve a driver of the day honour.
Gibson.
What's a race?
Hello, where is Gibson on my list? Where's Gibson?
Well, while he's finding that, the podium celebrations go on. Radius with a controlled victory here at the Miami circuit, but then behind him it was all kicking off, and in the end it is Gibson and Dale who take the final podium positions in P2 and P3 after a frantic final lap. God of Gaming has to settle for P4. He'll be livid with what happened there because he was pretty much locked into that P3 there. Then comes Kurt P5, the Kurt cruise missile, as I call him after that race, I think. Then comes Top Gear Racer P6. Atom, championship leader, will be glad that race is over with, but he will at least extend his lead over Ninja. Then comes Sub Pikachu, claims some points at P8 for Aston Martin. So Aston Martin at least off the mark, as are AlphaTauri getting a podium finish as well. And TB, fastest lap, and P10, he scores 2 points. So, what a race that was, Darren. I don't really know where to go with that one. That was absolute insanity.
I think that's the second week in a row that I've been left speechless by the final lap of the race, to be completely honest with you.
Quite. Well, let's talk to our 3 podium sitters. We'll start with our race winner and work our way down, because, to be brutally honest, I think the race winner's going to have less to talk about in the nicest way possible, because Radius, apart from... the couple of laps behind the guys that did pit, you pretty much led every lap of that race.
Yeah, sorry, just before, I can't include my audio. It's not.
Oh, don't worry. I use Elgato, so you are included anyway. Don't worry.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
I do a different way. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, start of the race, I saw Kai going hard, so I just wanted to be aggressive as I can because I know I had the pace in the race. And yeah, I took the lead, and then I don't know, the gap just kept going and going, and I didn't really have nothing to do in the race. So, I mean, I didn't think I'd be that, pacey compared to the others. I think I'd had to battle a few, I'd be mid-pack, because I totally forgot that we had the race tonight, so I had to hop on quickly. So, that's all I have to say. There's nothing really else to say, is there?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was definitely brilliant pace shown by you. I do think the other drivers basically tripping over each other behind you definitely helped as well. But it doesn't stop the fact, yeah, that was a commanding win. And obviously, after the disappointment of Bahrain last week.
Oh, yeah, let's not talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. I think you kind of, I know no one likes a boring race, but at the same time, when you get a boring race that you win, you can't really complain, can you?
Nah, I mean, I had it all. I just, my friend was just helping me, just saying, like, just cruise now. You've got the gap. So that's all I did, to be honest. Until the first lap, I went for a push lap, but those hards were on the verge of death. So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't entertaining on my side, but I did hear the stream in the background, so I did notice that there was quite a lot of action going on behind me.
Oh yes.
I was keeping an eye on that.
Basically doing a Lewis Hamilton watching the screens while he's going around, simplest, I suppose. So obviously looking at standings, obviously I think this is probably your first points finished as well, isn't it? Because obviously I don't.
Yeah, it's my second race.
Second race, so you basically done what?
7th in the standings.
Yes, just behind Frisbee. Obviously Gibson will jump up to 30 points, so he'll get ahead of Nathan. So you pretty much that's how it is though. At least like we're getting a lot of different drivers up there, and you're now pretty much. I think you're only a few like. A couple of race wins, you'd be within Atom if he didn't score. So, still definitely chances for opportunities in the championship. Obviously, next week is the Monza Sprint weekend.
Yes.
Are you looking forward to that?
Won my esports there against AMS. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Ooh, okay. So you got some pedigree there. That's good to hear. So, and obviously sprint format. Obviously, are you looking forward to that? Do you think that would be good?
Yeah, I haven't done a sprint race yet, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Well, either way, I will certainly be looking forward to watch you in action again. But in the nicest way possible, I hope it's not quite as boring for you. And to be fair, with it being Monza, I suspect it won't be. But yeah, well done. Brilliant drive, commanding drive, and well done.
Thank you.
No worries. So we'll move on to our P2 driver, that being... man getting his first podium of the season, and in very fine style, I might admit. I think joint drive of the day for me, and that is JW Gibson. Brilliant drive from P9 on the grid, and you got a podium. Well done.
Thanks. Yeah, definitely my best drive at season and of the whole time in GRL. To be fair, I kept it clean throughout. I normally have at least one spinner race, but finally didn't manage to get one today, and it was just about keeping it clean when others were going off the track. And I know looking at them last 10 laps, I didn't have the greatest straight line speed, and I was keeping my ERS high in that first stint. Yeah,
we did notice that.
ERS high in that.
Those final couple of laps with what I'm now dubbing the Kurt cruise missile was quite insane, because you literally could not make any sort of impact on him at all. But didn't stop you. You know, you had to get a little bit creative with your overtake, but you managed to pull it off thanks to Kurt's dying tyres. And I know it's not your first podium in GRL, but I would have to agree. I think that might be your best performance I've seen of you. That was really good driving.
Yeah, I mean, I think I had three thirds in a row last year, so this is my first second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right. So I didn't expect podiums this season, to be fair. I thought I'd be round the back, but then people not turning up, and with the amount of craziness that Miami is, there's opportunities like that. And to be fair, some second places when we've had safety cars this year have been with luck, but that one was pretty much on pure pace. And then 20 seconds behind the leader, it almost feels like a win.
Yeah, we didn't have a safety car in that race at all, only one virtual safety car. So yeah, definitely you can't say that was anything to do with luck. That was just brilliant driving from you. Obviously, as I said, you will move to 30 points. Obviously, Kurt will be a little bit ahead, but we know Kurt likely isn't going to be racing. So you're fourth in the standings at the moment. Obviously, Ninja and Atom still a ways away, but as we've seen, Atom is far from impregnable, I would say, even though he is leading that championship. So do you think if fortune maybe favours you a little more, do you think there's maybe any chance of a title challenge, or are you not even thinking about
that? Probably not. I think there's a lot quicker drivers than me here. I've just managed to keep it clean today, and that's just how I'll approach every race. Not really expecting much, maybe just hoping for points, and then I can be happy when I get more than that and get a podium in P2. I feel like my qualifying pace is struggling a bit. I'm normally at the bottom end of the top 10 or just outside it, but definitely my race pace has been a lot better. More with the upper midfield towards the top.
Well, and at the end of the day, you only get points for the race. Wait, no, we do pole position point here, don't we? I forget. Yes, we do. So you do get 1 point for pole, but you get a lot more for race, as we said. Obviously, next week, as I've mentioned to Radius, it's the Sprint Italy weekend. How do you think you're going to do around Monza? Are you looking forward to the sprint format again?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I didn't manage to race in the first one because I was off, but I'm looking forward to the sprint. Monza was where I made my debut last year, and hopefully it doesn't go like that and get punted into turn one. So,
well, maybe some unfinished business with that track then. But I'm looking forward to seeing you there because that was a really good race through here. So hopefully the momentum continues and you can maybe start getting up that grid. So well done, great podium and great drive.
Thank you.
And then we'll talk to our P3 sitter, who reserve driver standing in the AlphaTauri seat and finally getting AlphaTauri off the mark, importantly as well. So he's got that honour as well. Michael Dale, very good drive. Unlucky to lose second because of the penalties, but still, with the insanity that ensued at the end, you got the podium. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. Caught off the pit stop. That kind of caught me off. And obviously not keeping it clean throughout the corners, but quite a hard drive. Just one of them, innit?
It was tricky, obviously, a few little unfortunate mistakes, but nevertheless, I mean, your pace was really solid, especially in race trim. We noticed that undercut you made on the other guys was immense, and then you held those medians on very well, didn't really fall into them at all, and I think I'm quite glad you got that podium because I felt like you definitely deserved it after the race you ran. But what did you hear? I don't know if you heard what was going on behind you, the Haas and the Alpines. What was going through your mind? What was going through your mind?
I was definitely keeping an eye on that delta. It went from 3 seconds to 2 seconds, then 4. I was like, oh, thank God, if they keep this battling up, it'd be brilliant. And this is where I started to pick up some of my pace because I don't know what happened in qualifying, but I absolutely bottled it. So I started picking up pace throughout the rest of it, and all I'd see is I was going from 4.5, 4.7, 5, 6, 7, and obviously it come to the last lap. I'm like, oh please! As soon as it come to the last corner, it said 8 seconds, 0.008. I was like, nah, come on, please! I've honestly pushed it now. I just keep seeing it get back up and up and up. Oh, I was like, oh, P3 standard. I really thought I was going to get P5 or P6, but you know what, P3.
Yeah,
right.
if the ensuring what happened didn't happen, I think you were on course for P6 because they were all bunched together. So what basically happened was there was contact on the DRS between I think it was Kurt and Neo Racer, and I think it caused Neo to spin, and he basically collected Goddard Gaming a little bit. So basically, there was a huge crash, and it's I don't want to use the term "handed you the podium" because I don't think that's nice, but but you get the idea though. It was definitely a bit of luck, but you had to be in that position to benefit from the luck. That's the way I always look at it. You had to make your own luck. So it's a podium on, I presume, debut. I don't think I've seen you race.
I think in this league, it's debut.
It is debut, yeah. So obviously, 15 points straight out of the gate. You'll be tied with Pyrex Prism, who I haven't seen either. I think you'll be basically around sort of the P8, P9 area, maybe. Obviously,
not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, and as I said,
P11, I think.
P11, okay. But either way, as I said as well, though, you have the honour of getting AlphaTauri off the 0 point mark at the very least, so you can take that as a crumb of comfort. Next week, obviously, as I said, Italy sprint race. Will you? I mean, obviously, I know you're a reserve driver, but if you can race, will you race? And how do you think it'll go?
I can see. Hopefully, I do get the opportunity. It's just one of them. I'll definitely need to practice. It's just one of them tracks I need to sort the tyre temperatures and figure out setup properly. But hopefully I can not do too bad and not bottle qualifying and hopefully get inside the top 5 and hopefully do well. I mean, considering I just lost to someone that sounds very much younger than me, I definitely have to rethink a couple things. But
yeah,
yeah,
I'm glad you said it. I have to be
it
honest.
really sounds a bit depressing. After hearing his voice, I was like,
damn.
no
Yeah.
way. I really have to consider a couple things now. So yeah.
Well, either way, it doesn't stop the fact that you've had a pretty sensational debut race, and yeah, congratulations on your first podium in GRL. Well done.
Thank you.
Dara, anything else to add just before we wrap up?
Not really. I mean, I had a thought that because I know Atom's here as well, so he'll probably be able to comment on this. But he spun. If you remember, he spun at turn 3.
Yes.
He was only, it ended up being about 2 seconds behind P5 in the end. So if he didn't spin there, that's 4 points he's lost out on there.
Ooh, yeah.
Now I don't know if that will be crucial towards the end of the season, but it's a little bit of a swing. But
it's definitely something to consider. Obviously, you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing. I'm sure Atom would have made painstaking effort not to have spun if he knew what was going to happen ahead of him.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it's definitely something to consider. Obviously, we don't know how, you know, the rest of the season. We've still got 8 races to go, so still could be a lot of twists and turns in this season. But yeah, I'm sure Atom himself will say he's hoping that Italy goes a lot better for him than Miami did today. But nevertheless, he did still gain some points. He has still extended his championship lead over Ninja since he didn't show. And yeah, that really sums up that whole Miami race. Some basically 3 drivers who haven't even been on the podium yet all season got on the podium. And the usual suspects in one form or another just didn't seem to get the results they needed, and we'll have to wait and see if that can carry on next week as we return to the sprint race format. It'll be my first one I'm doing since I missed Spain, unfortunately, but I'm looking forward to it. I've yet to commentate on a sprint weekend, so I'm hoping this will be a very entertaining one. But yeah, we're going to end it there, though, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Dara, for once again joining me in the comments box. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
Most certainly. Yes. Most certainly.
Absolutely. There was a bit of a lull sort of in the mid part of the race, but that final stage of the race really did wake us up, I think, with what happened, I would say. But yeah, regardless, that will be it for this Miami Grand Prix stream. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Next week, as I said, sprint race in Italy. You do not want to miss that one. I certainly do not want to miss it. So for now, I've been Launcher16, your host with the most, joined by my lovely co-commentator Dara, and we'll see you next week for the Italian Grand Prix sprint weekend. Good night, everyone, and stay safe.